Hey everybody, this is Legendmuyui. I'm back for another playthrough of Shadowrun Returns. Hopefully I won't run into any technical difficulties like I was before. However, where we were last at, we just killed the Emerald City Ripper, and we were just doing the aftermath. I think his body was just left on the floor, and so we're going to look back over it. See if we got any interesting things that's going to be going on. I'm going to load my last save. And I'm not going to read through all of this stuff. This stuff is typically, that's why it loads so fast that I don't know. I'm not going to get through it by the time I start reading, and then it just. So, that's the Emerald City Ripper, also known as the ugliest elf. And he did some heinous acts. You know, you got your blood spatters. It looks like a body bag, another body bag. Some containers with people in it. That's a nice, it's a nice computer set. I mean, setup right there. You got multiple screens, a lot of multiple screens. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 monitors. It's pretty smooth. I got one that looks like filled with toxic, got bodies, just body parts strewn everywhere. So this guy was a bad guy. And he killed our friend, so let's just hop up in here. Demonic circle. Holmes drops to the ground, which he already dropped to the ground. The light in his eyes fading fast, but something keeps the shriveled husk of his soul stuck to this mortal coil for a few moments more. And this is a common storytelling trope. Someone's dying, and before they die, they're going to reveal something important. That doesn't necessarily happen in real life, but you know, it's good for telling a story. This place of broken things. This is a place of broken things. I remake them. She asked me to remake her. Okay. All right. So there's a she. There's a woman pulling the strings behind him. He manages one more laugh. His glazed eyes roll towards a workbench across the way. She was playing. Both of us. Okay. Then he finally dies. And I got 8 karma. I need to locate an exit. I defeated Dr. Holmes. Then, with a final bloody whimper, the Emerald City Ripper breathes his last. Okay. And gotta go to his workbench. Let's take a look. Holmes's workbench falls somewhere between coroner's slab and medieval torture device. It is decorated in the many colors of death and littered with the instruments of that trade. To one side, there is a leather-bound journal stuffed with uneven pages. To the other is a poxec, its small screen still glowing. Beneath the bench is a rolled sheaf of papers held closely with a tied length of surgical tubing. That's interesting. So we're gonna pocket secretary, POCSEC. Okay, so like a PDA, something like that, or in our days it will be a tablet. Let's start from top to bottom. We're going to investigate the workspace. The bench has clearly played host to numerous bodies over its lifetime. It includes limb restraints as well as skeletal traction mechanisms. At this table, Holmes likely dismembered bodies or quite possibly put them back together. The tackiness of the blood suggests it has been used relatively recently. Okay, so he just did some work on somebody. Skim his journal. Leafing through the pages, you find a few intelligible entries. Holmes may not have been a real doctor, but his handwriting certainly fits the stereotype. And I find that kind of funny because back when I was in school, I was relatively smart. I started thinking I could be, smart around the 7th grade, and I found that, work was quite easy. But I didn't like the fact of, telling people, hey, don't copy off of me. So I actually made my handwriting pretty bad so that people couldn't. And I wasn't going to talk during tests. So they can't copy off me if they can't read when I'm writing. It worked, but I never corrected it. So my handwriting is still a bit on the sloppy side. I just got to work slow, and, my handwriting will be pretty well. Well, with today's modern technology, everyone's typing now. So writing, hopefully it won't become a thing in the past, but people write less and less. Stuffed in the last few pages is a copy of a disinterment order from a local cemetery that graves occupants marked as Melinda Watts. So we can say the plot thickens. Sam Watts, Jessica Watts, Melinda Watts. This is Melinda. I believe Melinda is their mother's name. So we got a connection. And at the beginning of this whole trial thing, we were talking to Jessica, and she gave us an internment for her mother, Melinda. So this has something to do with it. Let's access the pocket secretary. Holmes is still logged in, granting you access to his currently loaded files. Promptly among them is a hospital report from a donor program. It lists the organs besides the names and vital statistics of the recipients. Your eye catches Sam Watts' name besides the entry for liver. Also on the list are the Ripper's other known victims, along with several others who may have shared in the same fate. There also is a large sum of New which can easily be transferred to your account. Okay, so I made $4,500, or stole $4,500. Anyway, examine the rolled sheet of paper. Unfurling the large sheet of paper, you discover a diagram of the human female form. Kind of stuff this doctor was doing. Rendered to an impressively level of detail. It appears to be the blueprint for making Holmes' very own monster. Okay, so from this, we can conclude that this has something to do with Melinda Watts, an organ donor. Sam's name was on it. I believe Coyote mentioned that Sam was sick and then he came back all nice one day, never really mentioned it. So Sam is always drinking, so he probably destroyed his liver, and he got a liver transplant, which made him a little bit better. So that's something to think about. And we got a witchcraft thing right here. All right. And a lady with some nice shoes, with some nice ankles, probably some nice legs, but got some burn marks all over her shoulders. And she's showing a lot of skin. So, that's what I expect in these. Oh, and there's a dude. How come he don't got no shoes on? She got shoes. He don't got no shoes on. I mean, they even got veins in his quadriceps. So he's probably jacked. Can't zoom in any closer to see, but let's go talk to him. Male Bunraku. And I never did really look up Bunraku, so I don't really know what it means. But I think I got this as like a programmed, genetically modified human who was kind of like a sex doll or something like that. His chip slot is still fresh. The open wound pink and wet and lurid. His voice drips innuendo, but his eyes say nobody's home. Well, hello there. Did you come to play? No thanks. I just want to know what's going on. I'm not in the mood for games. Are you okay? How long have you been here? I'm talking to the guy with this was the woman asking me this, I'd probably say no thanks, because sounds like she would be wanting to get too fresh. But if a guy asking, it's like, you all right? That's just my personality. Of course we're okay. We're ready for a little party. You want to have a little play party with me? By your name. Oh, interesting. So he's not even fully programmed. She's a symbol, and she's. I just went from he to a she. So I must be looking at the female now. She's assembled in a standard config, face of a schoolgirl, body of a stripper, and you need some thick beer goggles to miss the work she's had done. What kind of work? I guess they're just leaving that for your imagination. And that's it. Alright, I got something up here I can touch. Personifix chip wiper. Use a chip eraser on the... Yeah, let's free this guy's mind. His eyes focus and his hands raise slowly to touch his head wounds. The fingers come away wet and sticky. Panic twitches at the corner of his mouth as he surveys the room. First you, then a girl, and then down on his own body, which is no longer his. Sweet Jesus. What did he do? What am I? He begins weeping. His body racks in great, inconsolable, heavy sobs. That's horrible. I mean, there's no way to put it. I'm not sure if this guy volunteered for anything, but you just woke up and your body's just like not yours. He's pretty much made a chimera with a human. It's kind of... can only imagine. I mean, I can't imagine. I would think there would have been a lot more dead people, because I don't think... well, we do kind of got transplants, but... I don't want to know too much about it, because it just sounds sick. People playing God. You know, I don't like the body God gave me. Well, there's only two things you can do. You can eat healthily and you can work out. It's the best way to transform your body. Anyway. Let's, I think that's it. And nothing's over here. I'm going to hold down the Alt key. It's not showing me anything. Like, these are like mental hospital foam around here. Inside of these jail cells. I'm not sure why they would put the clothes here. Were like these people like living here, all nice quiet life, and then he came in and wreck shop changed the place and just, I don't know. Anyway, I like little aesthetics like that with the video game surrounding. Helps you want to think about what actually happened there beyond the story. Okay, Shannon Half Sky. As you approach the exit, you realize that Shannon lingers. Well, she's right behind me, quite a few steps behind. Looking back, you see that she is half turned, looking pensively towards the horror show of Holmes' lab. Finally feeling your eyes on her, she faces you and raises her head in a proud, almost defiant manner. We've done much good here tonight. We killed a lot of people. I would not call that good. The only proof or evidence we have is that Dr. Holmes killed somebody. And then after the flood of Noah, God said if a man kills somebody, then that man should be killed by somebody. So the only person that we have evidence that we should have killed is Holmes. And we also skipped the judicial process in doing so. I mean, sometimes the judicial system does fail because, well, corrupt people. I mean, that's how it is. We are all sinners. We all deserve to die. Because we think evil, we do evil, and we speak evil. And God's holy standard is perfection. So if we mess up once, we deserve to die. So, yeah, that. Anyway, we have removed two vile creatures from this world, and so ended a growing shadow they cast upon the city. Our paths crossed and joined, and we did this thing together. But now, here, our paths must divide. You saw what I saw. This isn't over yet. Hate to say it, but the job ain't done, over, lady. It's too informal. We've been with her too long to just be telling her that. But continued teamwork is something that I would want to do. She looks cool. Got the hair thing going on. Kuma beads, just a different color. And I guess that's a nice collar. So I would want to still stay with her. I think she was the only person who was free in doing this particular thing. And I'm sure I could use your help with what I must do next. A distant cry of pain echoes down from somewhere above, and the young shaman pauses to listen to the tortured sound. There is still more work to be done for both of us, but what must be done differs for each of us. I came here to find justice for my brother, and that has been done. His spirit can now finally rest, but there are other victims of the Ripper, both alive and dead, who still struggle to be at peace. Many of them are here in this place, filling the halls with their torment. I cannot leave them behind. This is where we differ. Christian belief: when a person dies, they go to their destination. If they have accepted the Lord Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior, to be the substitute for their sins, where they're not bearing the weight of paying for their own sins, they go to heaven. If they don't acknowledge that before they die, they go to hell. There's no lingering anywhere. So these spirits that need to find rest, they're already in their location. Yeah. But the spirits have something else in store for you, a different path. You must finish what you've begun. You must confront the first evil that fostered the one we have just ended. I can expect that. You realize, and I'm not going to say that. I'm asking, is there no way I can change your mind? I'm afraid not, but thank you. Okay. Because of you, my brother's killer has met swift justice, a justice of the only sort such a man as Holmes deserves. Death. I will now set to the task of healing those he has left behind. For every madman we face here tonight, there are a dozen innocent souls crying out in need. The spirits of the departed will also need help in passing. They're already gone, or else I fear they will become like those we met in the hangar. They all deserve my help. Well, I guess if you want to follow this game's lore, they're spirits that are left behind, but, you know. And what about Lone Star? They can't be far off or far behind. When they enter that room back there, they will have no thoughts other than thoughts of promotion. With the Ripper in hand, my brother will be forgotten, along with all the other victims, but so too will I. There will be no problem. There will not be a problem. Whether that's true or not, Shannon's confidence and very presence seem capable of making it true. Good luck to you, Legendmuyui. I hope you can find the same justice for your friend that I found for my brother. I appreciate that, and good luck to you. I don't believe in luck. Everything is foreordained. Ain't no doubt about it. Sounds too cocky. I'm a thinker. And with that, it looks like I can't do anything else. So, I'm going to just transition. You're about to transition to a new location. Okay. Loose ends. The ride back to the Seamstress Union is quiet compared to the pandemonium left behind at Mercy Mental Hospital. Lone Star Squad's cars pass you on the road, sirens blaring, no doubt in response to the aftermath. to the aftermath of your showdown with the late Dr. Henry Holmes, the Emerald City Ripper, the man who violently repossessed the internal organs of Sam and Jessica's mother, Melinda Watts. Although the killer is dead and his grip on the city is broken, it's clear he wasn't working alone. There are some loose ends aching to be tied. The taxi turns onto Redmond Way, cruising past now familiar landmarks onto the Seamstress Union. In all its decadent, seedy glory materializes between swipes. Let's try this again. The taxi turns onto Redmond Way, cruising past now familiar landmarks until the Seamstress Union, and all its decadent, seedy glory materializes between swipes of the its overworked windshield wipers. Time to evaluate your next move. I'm still not sure if I got that right, but hey, whatever. If you're there, you can read it. The union is quiet this afternoon. The salarymen and wage slaves haven't migrated from nearby offices and suburbs to dabble in the exotic yet. Okay. Those are my people I can just roll up to. That looks like Johnny Clean, Mrs. Kubota, with her ever so thick attire. And, Cherry Bomb with her weird. They're like boy shorts with. I don't know too much about women's clothing. I would say fishnet stockings, but that doesn't look like fishnet stockings, and I don't know if that's right. She has her hair up, and I don't know. I can't get any closer, so whatever. There he is. Okay, so they were talking about me. Let's talk to Johnny. Johnny Clean is talking with Cherry Bomb and Mrs. Kubota when you walk up. We were just talking about you, Legendmuyui. Okay, well, I am a impressive guy to talk about. Yeah, well, I guess there goes my humility. And the Emerald City Ripper. Ironic that you tracked a serial killer to a mental hospital. Johnny Clean told us where you were going, oh my. We've been waiting for your return. I thought you knew better than that, Johnny. Johnny frowns and nods. You're right. I should have kept my mouth shut. I should have known better. It was just that we have a personal stake in this Ripper murder and the Ripper murders. We each have our reasons for wanting the killer found. Sam was a regular here, and his loss has been felt regardless of his shortcomings. All have sinned and come short of the glory of God. So everyone has a shortcoming. Everyone. The whole sprawl has been shaken by these killings as well. The randomness of them. No one knows if they will be next or what the killer might take from them. I admit that the killings have hampered business as well, and I am sorry, but it is true. It does not help that Sam's body was found down the street from here. Even my regular customers have been loath to venture out with a killer on the loose. I don't gotta worry about that. Now tell us, oh my. Did you find the person responsible for the Ripper's murder? The person responsible? No. The killer? Yes. Not exactly. I got the scalpel, but where was pulling. Okay, yeah. So I'm not going to curse. I'm not going to mention that he grew up without a father, which that would make me that. Oh, he wasn't around, but whatever. Anyway, I don't understand. Are you saying the killer wasn't responsible for his own actions? That sounds more complicated than I suspected. It is. The head of the asylum was killing specific people to harvest specific body parts. All of the transplanted organs came from the same donor, Melinda Watts, Sam's mother. It looks like he was putting her back together. Oh yeah, the whole thing was a Frankenstein job. The Ripper was harvesting body parts to resemble Sam's mother, Melinda. All the victims had transplanted organs, her organs, and the Ripper was taking them back. Now, something like this. If it was me, like this was happening to me, I would be more playful with the death. Like I'm typically playful with how I was shot. But I would probably go with this first one here. The three are silent as the news sinks in. So Sam had an organ transplant. So Sam had an organ transplanted from his mother, and then the Ripper killed Sam and all those other people just to reassemble Sam's mother. Looks like it. Grisly, isn't it? It's about the size of it, yeah. Looks like it. I sense a cause and effect in this. Coyote and Jake Armitage just left to attend Sam's funeral. I am told there will be a reinterment ceremony for his mother as well. My sister invited me to the funeral and the reinterment where I met her. His sister invited me to the funeral and the reinterment when I met her here. Right, a reinterment ceremony. Interesting. Sounds like she'll be buried with all her missing body parts. Yep. Think his sister Jessica had something to do with it? Hang on. I saw Sam's sister when she was in here the other day. She was as corp as they come, but I can't imagine a lady like that behind a serial murders. There's got to be something else going on. It's clear that you must go to the funeral and talk to Jessica Watts, Legendmuyui. Well, I'm going to get answers. There's where I'm headed, that's where I'm headed, Mrs. Kubota, and we need to pay respects to Sam. Yep. Of course. Mrs. Kubota raises her hand, and the conversation stops. Wait, before you go, there is one thing you did not tell us, Legendmuyui. Where is the Emerald City Ripper now? Decomposing. I think you know where. Well, he isn't in heaven. I'm not. Yeah, that's a tough one. Because as bad as this guy was, and the bad that he did, I have no idea about what he was with the confession of Jesus Christ. So I don't know if he was in hell. Most people would like to think someone who does something bad goes to hell, but then it means all of us will be in hell because we all do bad. And the standard of bad isn't determined by us. It's determined by a holy God. And he's already said that we've all fallen. So I'm going to say decomposing. Because I don't like to leave stuff that I think you know where. No, decomposing. She nods in satisfaction. Hi. That's good. And then that's it. All right. I am going to cut it here. We are approaching that half-hour mark, and I always like to keep it within a half hour, because I'm gonna blab my mouth a little bit while I'm coming to the end. If this is your last piece of entertainment, which I hope it is, I hope that you will now take the time to actually do some stuff for yourself. If you're trying to get physically fit, work on that. If you're working on a story, do that. If you're working on making a song, and that you're musically inclined, or you're not doing any of that, but you want to do some of that, now is the time. Don't just sit around watching YouTube videos. Sometimes I fall into that rabbit hole myself, but stop all of the wasting of your time. Everyone is blessed with 24 hours of the day. Granted, they're still living. And use some of that time to better yourself with either things that you want to know how to do or something that you're currently doing but you want to get better. Well, that's it for me. This is Legendmuyui. Be blessed.